Hello, you guys. Thank you for being here. Hey, Pointer Lover. Hey, ATS. Well, I've changed it a couple times. Like I don't know if I'm gonna keep that intro, but yeah. Hey, Mallory. Hey, Kip Kitty. Hey, Algie. And by the way, thank you for joining. Thank you, Dookie Tooth. Hey, Amanda. Cement Shoes. My crazy mama, Lucia. Hey, Jay. Pointer Lover. Curious Dreamer. Hey, Jen Lou. Good to see you. Hey, Rainbow Light. Dave Gammon. Lynn, oh, I'm so happy you guys are here. Hey, MK, Jane Doe, Zoomer Mom, thank you. Smiling Wolfette, West Virginia Holler Girl, so good to see you guys. Crime with K, Melissa Jade. Let's see, Pandora's Box and Love is Key. Oh, Jen Lou, I cannot wait to show you these because I have every single one that's been filed. Like that stopped the crime scene cleanup, it was filed the day he was arrested. He actually got that defense attorney the day he was arrested. We're going to go through all of that, and then there's a couple new articles, so there's a lot to look at. Let me see. My comments got froze for a moment. Hey, Delaney. And hey, TF, I don't know if I said that. So you guys, I was going to go live at 10 this morning. And right before I go live at like 9:30, the dog starts acting really funny. Like he's not using his back legs. He's all sad. Oh my God. He just broke my heart. He was all sad. He was just acting funny. He goes to eat his food and it just falls out of his mouth. He's only 1 year old. He's not like old enough to do, to have a stroke or anything. I guess it's possible. But anyway, so we had to take him to the vet. They're keeping him overnight. Dude, the vets are a ripoff. They're charging like $400 to $800, which I damn sure don't have. Thank goodness for my parents. It's just awful. Oh, hey, Eris, I'm so sorry. I hope your headaches get better. Thank you, guys. We don't know, Curious Dreamer. The vet says he shows signs of poisoning. So they are giving him charcoal on his tummy. They're making him throw up, giving him fluids, keeping him overnight. My kids love that dog. So, you guys know how that is. So, hey, Without Borders. Okay. Oh, it's so expensive, Emma. It's ridiculous. So the court hearing is tomorrow. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for being here. I know some people don't like the long intro. If you are one of those people, and I like to take the time to speak to the people that are here. I appreciate you guys, and I just can't imagine not doing that. But if you are one of those people that the intro is like drives you crazy, just skip ahead. The live chat's probably going to drive you crazy, but you can always skip ahead. So we're going to start here with this article. This is from the New York Post, and take it with a grain of salt, but it's very interesting. So Bryan Kohberger told cops, hold on, that stupid ad. Bryan Kohberger told cops it's really sad, that's a quote, it's really sad what happened to the slain Idaho students, okay? The man accused of brutally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students to death reportedly told cops it was, quote, really sad what happened to, unquote, the victims. Bryan Kohberger, 28, made the comment to officers as he was being extradited from Pennsylvania to Idaho last week, according to a police source who spoke to People. The source, who was involved in the extradition process, told the outlet that the murder suspect didn't speak directly about the students' murders, but did comment on their tragic fates. He did say, quote, it's really sad what happened to them, unquote, but he didn't say anything more, the source said. He's smarter than that. The source also told the outlet that the PhD criminology student, quote, seemed really nervous, unquote. This part is very interesting. I know, smiling Wolfette. Oh, thank you, Crime with K. Okay. So he seemed really nervous. Listen to this. He was narrating to himself everything that was happening, the source said. At one point, he was saying something to himself like, I'm fine. This is okay. Like he was reassuring himself that this whole thing wasn't awful. I'm fine. This is okay. Everything's okay. It's going to be okay. Bryan Kohberger reportedly said, quote, what happened, unquote, to the 4 students he's accused of killing was, quote, sad, unquote. There he is, as he's being extradited. That's actually a different angle than what I hadn't looked at it like in a still shot from that angle. Kohberger was arrested on December 30th. The 2 other students who lived in the home were unharmed. Officers have not found any connections between Kohberger and his alleged victims or a motive. And that's where we're going to go to next. Because last night there was an article that came out about just that. They talk about the phone data, and that's kind of it. That's the main part of the article, that first part about him saying what happened to the students was really sad. It's really sad what happened. And he's reassuring himself and having some nerves and stuff, which, I mean, I would expect that. Let's see. Where's my other article about the connections? Okay. So I think it was Steve's lawyer who said this, but let's get right into it. I actually have not read this article. Let me check on you guys for a moment. He is big. I agree. Isn't that the same thing he told somebody when he was committing the murders? Yeah. He said, what did he say? It's going to be okay. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. It's going to be okay. Let me see. I've got it right here. Here, I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. He said, it's okay. I'm going to help you. So very similar, but yeah. So now we're going to look at this article just quickly, and then we're going to get into the court documents, which I cannot wait to show you. It was really fascinating seeing them. Someone super special sent them to me, and thank you for that. I appreciate it so much. So no one knew this guy at all. Lawyer for Idaho murder victims' families say Bryan Kohberger has no connection to any of the 4 students he is accused of murdering. So remember, in the beginning, Steve kind of said that there were some connections that were showing, but they didn't have the details yet, basically. And those are my words. I'm thinking his apartment looks similar to those movies you see with pictures and shit all over the wall. I cannot wait to see what was in his apartment. Oh, by the way, that will be unsealed, I think, March. They're only sealing it for a short period of time. No, Steve didn't say no. No, he definitely said, we're finding some things, but we still got to kind of look into it. That's basically how he said it. And I can find that if I need to, but I'm not putting, oh my God, I'm not going to deal with people doing that. I can find the where he said that. Hey, Wolfie, I love you too. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm not in the mood for dealing with people being assholes today. I'm not going to do it. So that's just that. Okay, let's continue. Let me see. Wolfie, do you remember that, where that's at, where they're talking about the connections and Steve kind of, do you remember where that's at? You know what I'm talking about? Because I would like to find that, just because I know that's what happened. Okay, let's continue to the rest of this. So the lawyer for the family of Kaylee Gonsalves says suspect Bryan Kohberger has no connection to any of the 4 students he is accused of murdering. Kohberger is facing the death penalty on 4 counts of first-degree murder. He denies the charges despite DNA from the scene matching a sample taken from his house, and says he will prove his innocence. While police have laid out some of their evidence against him, no motive for the killings has yet been suggested. Yeah, Kaylee's dad. I believe had he not been caught, he would have written letters to the media and the cops. It's very possible. I have something else, but not Steve. I think it was the first interview after he was arrested. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Amber. I knew that he did. And like I said, I used my words. I don't know his direct quote, but did Bryan tell why he chose? Bryan, I think, is, keeping his stance that he is innocent as far as what we've seen so far. I mean, if he said it's really sad what happened to them, I think that he's going to keep his stance that he's innocent. I'll be looking forward to see what kind of defense they put together. And I do have an article to show you guys about that, actually, after we go through the court stuff. So Bryan Kohberger is facing the death penalty on 4 counts of first-degree murder. There he is going into the courtroom. A lawyer for the family of one of the victims says Kohberger had no connection to any of the kids. Pictured from left, Dylan Mortensen, who survived, and says she saw Kohberger in the house, and then it names the people. So let's see if that little video clip at the top is where Shannon said that. Well, no. I'd be curious to see if that interview is on camera. So apparently there is no connection. We aren't ready to talk about it yet. Are courts televised in Idaho? Slink, so they are, but so like Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, we were able to watch everything. I mean, the preliminary hearing, there were cameras in the courtroom. We got tons of evidence, witness statements, all that kind of stuff. But they ended up changing it to where they wouldn't allow cameras in the courtroom because, the defense said it's basically not fair to to Lori. The thing was, people were just making fun of Lori's makeup and things like that. It was a whole thing. So now for that case, it's possible they're going to allow audio. So I think that it could be, we don't know. It could be anything, really. They could let us in there, or maybe they won't. Mallory says it won't be live here, but played after. Okay, so now let me show you guys these court records from the beginning. We're going to start right here. Some of them are nothing. Some of them are very interesting to see. So this is just his warrant of the arrest. And it says which, laws he broke, that kind of thing. This is just basic, no bail. He's committed to the sheriffs, that kind of thing. Okay. Then let's see this one. Hold on, you guys. Oh, wait. You know what? Okay, it is working. Oh, I bet there will be a movie about this too. Okay, let me see here. This is just a criminal complaint, same thing basically of what we just saw. This is not really anything super interesting. It does list the charges, and I believe, like I've said before, they are in chronological order. In my opinion, this is not a fact, it's just my opinion, which would make me believe that they're listed in the order that they occurred. Hey, Marshall, happy to see you. But that's just my guess. Now let's keep going because we're going to get to the more interesting ones. This is the order appointing his public defender. Okay, so you see it was on 12/30 of 2022. The court finds defendant indigent pursuant to these codes, Idaho codes. The public defender is ordered to represent defendant in all matters pertaining to this action. Defendant may be required to reimburse the county for all or a portion of the cost. And then we have Ann Taylor. So she was hired immediately. I think that's really interesting. Hold on just a sec. Does anyone know if he has requested a bench trial or a jury trial yet? I have no absolute clue. I don't think that, I have no idea. I guess we'll find out more I don't think he said either way, but I think that we'll find out more tomorrow. He has court tomorrow. So okay. Now, this is the invocation of rights. Now, I enjoyed reading this last night. I found this interesting. So, Bryan C. Kohberger does hereby invoke his rights to remain silent and to counsel pursuant to the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments in the Constitution. With respect to any and all questioning or interrogation, regardless of the subject matter, including but not limited to matters that may bear on or relate to arrest, searches and seizures, bail, pretrial release or detention, evidence at trial, guilt or innocence, forfeitures, or that may be relevant to sentencing, enhanced punishments, factors applicable under the Idaho Code, relevant to punishment, restitution, immigration status, or consequences resulting from arrest or conviction. Mr. Kohberger requests that the Latah County prosecutor ensures that this invocation of rights is honored. This was also the 30th of December. Immediately. There was some rumors that he may have talked to police when he was first arrested, and I think this kind of shows us he didn't. This is different from the affidavit. Yes, these are like all the things that his lawyer has, all the different motions and stuff that have been filed, all of the court records that have been put on the record in the case up to this point. Number one rule in my house is don't be an asshole. Yes, Jules. Exactly. Polite scumbag. Well, I want him to have to answer to this. I really, really do. I think that's so important. Okay. Here we have limited notice of appearance. Comes now. Ann Taylor, public defender and pursuant to court appointment, hereby appears on a limited basis until an agreement is reached between Latah, the other county, and Ann Taylor for and on behalf of Bryan. Notice is given that the defendant herewith asserts all rights accorded to him or her under the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments. So this is basically so she could be appointed as his lawyer immediately. No agent of the state or person acting in such capacity is to question the defendant regarding any act, whether charged or uncharged. Again, December 30th, 2022. No. This is when they put the motion in to stop the crime scene cleanup. We don't know. I don't know that he did it, Jay. I mean, I think there's quite a lot of evidence that makes it look like he might, but we all do. Absolutely. He will never talk. I wonder if he'll ask for a speedy trial. I believe that he will, in my opinion, because I think he wants to give them the least amount of time to prepare, but that's just me thinking that he's got some sort of strategy or, thought process behind his actions. Up to this point, I don't think he's shown that he does, to be honest. If you're thinking about things thoroughly, if you're, so smart, and I just don't, the mistakes that he's made thus far, It's Latah. Okay, A. Charles, thank you. I have a feeling at some point he will demand to represent himself. Well, I don't know. I think the lawyer that he has is pretty good. Oh, welcome, El Guapo. Thank you for joining. Oh, thank you, Jay Reno. I like it too. I do. I think that it, I don't know, it just helps. It's like more, I connect better when I'm watching somebody on camera. He will be excited for trial. Dad is most likely thinking in his head about every word, everything BK said, racking his brain if there was anything off. I agree. I could take some surveillance evidence and show that he was simply their drug dealer making regular deliveries. You know what? I had someone send me an email about that. And it was very interesting because they're like, can you think are there any circumstances or any way that you can make this in your head where he's innocent? And he's like, well, listen to this. Hey, Sean. Okay, let's keep reading because, I want you guys to see this one specifically. The smart play would be for him to not waive his right hand to a speedy trial, but given his attorney was out at the scene, maybe not, because she's going to want time to investigate. Yeah, and she's good, and I think she could sway his decision. Okay, so motion to preserve crime scene and evidence. Comes now Bryan C. Kohberger by and through his attorney, Ann C. Taylor, public defender, and hereby moves this court for an order directing the Latah County Prosecutor's Office to preserve the crime scene located at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, including the home and outbuildings, vehicles, and curtilage. Further, Mr. Kohberger requests the court to order the Latah County Prosecutor's Office to preserve all evidence in its custody or under its control or in control of their agents. Further, Mr. Kohberger requests the court to order the prosecution to notify defense counsel prior to any potentially destructive testing and or examination. That's normal. We see that often because they only have so much DNA, and sometimes when they test it, it will destroy it. There will not be any left for future testing. The motion is made so that defense counsel may take a view of the scene in order to effectively and constitutionally represent Mr. Kohberger, and is made pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 16, the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments. Now listen, you guys. This is also December 30th. All of these were done the day he was arrested. They got in there and went straight to work, his attorney. And she wasn't even 100%. She could be his attorney, but they were still working it, through the court process. Hey, Valerie. Well, remember, guys, this was not even reported on television this month. This was in court's hands ASAP. That's crazy. Hey, Florida Bass Fishing. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good lunch. Wonder if he's using his eyebrow hair as a Cadillac to send kites from his cell. Hey, Detective Juan. Hello, not bad. Just getting ready for sleep soon. He could claim a friend stole his knife and car and he doesn't know what happened. The video looks so blurry. Which video? We are past it, KK. Or Lucky, and then KK, how do we become a member? So at the bottom, there's like a little where people super chat. There's a little $sign, and if you have an Android, you'll find the link there. If not, the mods will have to drop a link for if you have an iPhone, and then you can join that way. Okay. No, I didn't, Sean. I'll have to check that out. Curtilage, an area of land attached to the house and forming one enclosure with it. Okay. Oh, they have to protect him in there. The way he even smiled at his attorney was way creepy. Love is the key. I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, you just give me like the heebie-jeebies all the way. You have an iPhone. Do you guys have the link for the iPhone, you guys? The mods? Pretty please. Okay. This attorney certainly means business. She does. This is second one. Was there two? No. Yeah, until February 1st. Okay, look at this is where they dated it, that it will remain preserved until February 1st. Or until further ordered of the court. It is further ordered that all samples of evidence collected or generated by the state in this matter, including but not limited to bodily fluids, blood, tissues, notes, slides, photographs, or other relevant information, be held and preserved by the state for the defense. So this is another order to preserve evidence. And yes, that's just kind of this same thing to what we just saw. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, this is stipulation for non-dissemination order. So comes now Bryan Kohberger by and through his undersigned attorneys, Ann Taylor, public defender, and Jay Weston, chief deputy litigation and Latah County prosecutor, and hereby stipulate to the issuance of a non-dissemination order prohibiting attorneys, investigators, and law enforcement personnel from taking any extrajudicial statement, written or oral, concerning this case, other than a quotation from or reference to, without comment, the public records of the court in this case. The stipulation is based on the Sixth Amendment and the defendant and state's interest. So is this like the gag order, basically? Is that what that means? Non-dissemination? I don't know. I need some help on that one, you guys. Inherent authority to minimize the effects of prejudicial pretrial publicity. Yes, and to ensure the efficient administration of justice. Okay. As this court is aware, this case involves matters that have received a great deal of publicity. The United States Supreme Court has identified non-dissemination orders as being properly narrowly tailored, as well as the least restrictive means to ensure a fair trial in the view of First Amendment protections. So Anne signed that, the prosecutor signed that. That is that. Then we have another one, non-dissemination order. It is hereby ordered that the parties to the above titled action, including investigators, law enforcement personnel, attorneys, and agents of the prosecuting attorney or defense attorney, are prohibited from making extrajudicial statements, written or oral, concerning this case, other than a quotation from or reference to, without comment, the public records of the case. So they can quote or reference any public records, but they cannot comment. But it doesn't include the family. This order specifically prohibits any statement which a reasonable person would expect to be disseminated by means of public communication that relates to the following: evidence regarding the occurrences or transactions involved in the case, the character, credibility, or criminal record of a party, the performance or results of any examinations or test, or the refusal or failure of a party to submit to such tests or examinations, any opinion as to the merits of the case or the claims or defense of a party, any other matter reasonably likely to interfere with a fair trial of this case, such as, but not limited to, the existence or contents of any confession, admission, or statement given by the defendant, the possibility of a plea of guilt to the charged offense or a lesser offense, or any opinion as to the defendant's guilt or innocence. It is further ordered that no person covered by this order shall avoid its prescriptions by actions that indirectly but deliberately cause a violation of this order. It is further ordered that this order and all provisions thereof shall remain in full force and effect throughout these proceedings until such time as a verdict has been returned, unless the court changes their mind, unless modified by the court. Wow, 666 in here. Oh, wait, you guys joined. Welcome, Zoomer Mom and KK May. Thank you, guys. That's interesting. That's where the judge signed it. Then we have, let's see what this is. Second amend order governing courthouse and courtroom conduct. Okay, this is about the media, you guys. This order governs courthouse and courtroom conduct and media activities and may be amended from time to time. The court is mindful of the need to balance the constitutional right of the defendant to a fair hearing, the public's right to information in conjunction with the constitutional or statutory rights of the media to attend the proceedings, and 3, the court's interest in maintaining order and an environment that permits all participants to focus on their responsibilities without undue distractions, and 4, the court's interest in the safety of the public and court personnel and the need to follow all Idaho Supreme Court orders. It is hereby ordered: 1, courtroom seating and attendance. A, seating for victims' families, counsel, defendant's family, and court personnel. Certain seating may be reserved for counsel, authorized court personnel, the defendant's family, and the victim's family. pooled media seating. The representatives of the media serving as the pooled camera staff shall be seated in an area approved by the court as designated by the administrative district judge, presiding judge, trial court administrator, or bailiff, subject to a limited of 2 media members operating the pooled audio and video recording of the hearing and 1 media member handling the pooled still photography. Wow. So they can all, that's interesting. There can't be not everyone is welcome. Okay, then we have general public and additional media seating. Okay, maybe I'm confused by that, but by that last one, but let's continue. The public and members of the media not designated as pooled camera staff may be permitted in the courtroom as space permits on a first-come basis. No person may reserve seats. No standing in the courtroom will be allowed. Seating in front of the bar. No person other than court personnel designated by the court shall be permitted to sit in front of the bar of the courtroom without specific authorization. Spectators, including members of the media and the public, shall be seated before court is in session during any portion of a hearing. No entry or re-entry to the courtroom shall be permitted while court is in session. General restrictions and requirements. All persons entering the courtroom are subject to security screening. No food, beverages, firearms. Cell phones are permitted, but they have to be turned off and cannot be used to record anything. Only authorized members of the media, designated court personnel, and counsel may use computers, laptops, and other similar devices for note-taking. They shall not record or transmit sounds or images in or from the courtroom. Violation of this may result in confiscation. Disruptive behavior. Any activity or behavior which is considered disruptive will result in removal from the courtroom. Any spectator who creates a visual or auditory disturbance of the court proceedings may be removed from the courtroom. Then they have COVID-19 precautions. Then there's quite a few things here. Let me check on you guys just quickly. I'd have to pee too much. I know. I was thinking that when I was reading. Yeah, I can't see the chat while I'm reading, but I will come back and check on you guys. Let's just try to get through some of this because we still have more even after the court records to go through. So, media still photography. If the court allows cameras in the courtroom and orders that the media coverage be pulled, then all media shall have access to and share the video. So there will be like one camera and one audio device, but everyone will have access to that. Courtroom media requirements. No live broadcasting, transmitting, that kind of thing. Look here, portion of proceedings which may not be televised. Photography, video, and audio is not permitted during a recess in the court proceedings. Recess means anytime the judge is not at the bench or is not on the record. No electronic device shall record the audio or video of any bench conference, sidebar, between the court and counsel, nor any conferences between an attorney and client, or conferences among court and counsel, nor among counsel, no live broadcasting, transmitting, that kind of thing. Interviews. It says news conference interviews and reporting is prohibited during the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So just kind of general rules of the court. Media inquiries, where if you want to get the footage, you can email there. I'm going to actually try to do that and get what I can for here. I don't know if it will work, but I'm going to try. Okay, so let's go on to the next. This is certificate of service, initial appearance, just a notice of hearing. This is order change. This is, remember the other day they changed his hearing. It was at 10. It's now going to be at 8 a.m., which will be 11, or like East Coast time. And yeah, that is, I think that's the last one. So let me check on you guys, and then we're going to keep going through some stuff. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Thank you, Avery Shannon, True Crime. They removed this case from the court website completely, which is crazy. I'm trying to understand why. There is literally nothing on this case now. What? Huh, that is interesting. Hey, Jerry, good afternoon. How many similar white cars in the area? There are 200 plus Elantras in nearby area. Okay, so this confused me because I thought this video was taken later. Let me find it. The news. Look at this, you guys. Okay.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that.
You guys.
And I will say that we have found an Elantra.
For weeks, a white Hyundai Elantra was the only clue released by police in the University of Idaho quadruple murders case. Now, newly released security video shows what could be suspect Bryan Kohberger's white Elantra driving past the crime scene the day of the stabbings. The video shows what appears to be a white vehicle driving by, slowing down near the King Road home. In an affidavit released last week, investigators say Kohberger's phone pinged in the area of the off-campus home at about 9 o'clock the morning of the murders. Court documents also say multiple security cameras near the murder scene caught video of a similar vehicle driving by the home at least 4 times between 3:29 and 4:20 the morning of the murders. Experts say those shows vehicles speeding away from the crime scene area at about 4:20 a.m., which, according to the affidavit, is right after the murders likely occurred. More than a month later, on December 15th, Kohberger was pulled over while driving white Elantra. At the time of the traffic stop, Kohberger was in Indiana, traveling with his father from Washington
Hold on,
to
you
his
guys.
family home.
I want to go back to this clip.
Newly released security video shows what.
Now, I remember a very similar clip like this going around, but I thought it was taken at another time of day later. So,
could be
it is
suspect
interesting.
Bryan Kohberger's white
media now, has put out that they believe, and it's in the affidavit, that it's possible that he went back not only once at 9, but then again, in the afternoon, because his phone went off again, the same way that it did when he went over there the night that the crimes occurred. Now, if you missed it, in the beginning, we talked about yesterday, it was released that Steve Gonsalves' family said there was, his family's attorney said, there is no connection between the victims and Bryan. And someone in here had said that, because I said, didn't Steve say there was, they had seen some sort of connection in the beginning? So Crime Sleuthin actually just sent me this video, and I want to show it to you guys, and then we'll go back. For the people who missed in the beginning, the article, I can just show you. I still have it pulled up. Actually, let me go ahead and do that. So here's the Daily Mail article where Shannon says, no one knew of this guy at all. Lawyer for Idaho murder victims' families say Bryan Kohberger has no connection to any of the 4 students he is accused of murdering. So yeah, the family said he has no connection. He denies the charges. Let's see. I think that was really the only part. Yeah. A lawyer for the family of one of the victims says Kohberger had no connection to any of the kids. Okay, so thank you to Crime Sleuthin, and you guys, if you haven't seen her channel, she's put out many things on this case, and she's really quick about updating stuff. You can go over there and check it out. She sent us this video that takes us back in time just a little bit.
4 college students in Idaho. Detectives arrested a suspect, 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger, in Pennsylvania, hundreds of miles away from where the killings happened. They say the students were stabbed to death. Some had defensive wounds, and each had been stabbed several times. Authorities are still looking for the murder weapon, but have found the white car.
Hey, Heather.
But they don't know yet why the crimes were committed.
These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students. However, we do believe justice will be found through the criminal process.
The father of one of the murder victims, Steve Gonsalves, and his attorney say they see connections between Kaylee and the suspect, but they aren't ready to talk about exactly what those connections are. The arrest comes the same day as his family is holding a celebration of life for Kaylee.
See, I knew that had happened. So that's interesting. I mean, you got to think about it though. If you go by the information that we had in the very beginning, and coroners saying they were all asleep in their beds the year of the car, 2011 to 2013. There were many things that we were kind of misled about, I do find it so interesting that now it's finally come out that, yes, one of the roommates did faint and that kind of thing. Smiling Wolf Up. Yep. And the motion for discovery will be uploaded to the site I'm using on Friday. So we'll get to see what Kohberger's lawyer is wanting. I cannot wait to see that. Hi, Pepper. First time here, just thinking that the videos of the car are more significant since his phone is pinging at the same locations where his car was seen. That's a good point, Pepper. I'm convinced he's guilty. Who throws away their garbage in their neighbor's cans? Cement shoes. From the day I heard that, I was like, what? Like, who does that? Unless you're hiding something, why would you do that? We have to keep in mind that the police only let us know information they are also comfortable with Bryan and his defense knowing. Right. Only one footprint. Did the guy fly through the house? Just touched down with 1 foot by the door. Well, I had shared this. So people were kind of saying, look, a lot of people wear Vans. Look at this photo of Vans. And I shared a post on my community page that was almost insinuating that. But the way they found this footprint was using not only luminol, but something else that only picks up on cellular matter. So it's not just a regular footprint. This is a footprint with some sort of cellular matter on it. So, blood, skin, I don't know, those kind of things. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Peach. Hey, Johnny. Good to see you guys. As an investigator, I do ask questions. Oh, so you're an investigator. That's cool. Almost directly quoted it. Toot, toot my horn. You seem to be reaching. What do you mean by mobile evidence? Huh? I know, Sassy Blue. I was wondering if they had potentially been on a date or something like that in the past. I'm confused why, if he threw garbage away at his neighbors, law enforcement waited to test garbage at his parents' house to match DNA. Did he dump something on his garbage that made it untestable? Well, I believe they grabbed the garbage from the parents' house and the neighbors. When they saw him do that and he left, they went and got it. I got my day wrong today. I need to go to bed early too. I cannot believe my poor little doggy, you guys. It's just, I thought that Psychic Sleuth said his name was Ryan or something similar. Never Bryan. She actually said both. She did say Ryan at one point. Oh, welcome, Valerie. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Valerie Knox has a channel, you guys, where she's covering Idaho, and she's really, really great. You got to go check her out as well. Okay, so back to a couple other things I wanted to talk to you guys about. First, I'm going to just share a couple screenshots that I grabbed. One thing, there's going to be, and I just grabbed this to show you guys, a former student the former classmate from DeSales University, the school where he got his bachelor's and master's, is going to be on Dateline. So that's going to be really interesting. I think, Friday at 9. So I cannot wait to see that. You guys keep a heads up for that. Oh, wrong way. Oh, yeah. But this is something that I'm interested in talking about. But let me keep going this way for right now. Look at his hands, you guys. Now, look how red his hands are. And I thought this comment was so interesting because someone said chemical burn or reaction to wearing surgical gloves after he committed the crimes. Why are his hands so red? I mean, I don't think the cuffs are that tight. Oh, thank you, Punksy. Trash on curb is available to everyone, correct? It doesn't belong to you anymore once you set it out there. The question is, does he have any connection to any of the surviving roommates? Ooh, that's a good question, Lana. Oh, are they setting me up, Elizabeth? An investigator for the prosecution seeks one side of things, but there is the opposite side that you should investigate also. Always try to poke holes in evidence. Prosecution needs that. Hey, Amber, it's so weird how BK hates his life and kills taking life, and now he's fighting for his life in the court of law. I know. Is he wearing gloves? No, not there. But I mean, you know, ooh, smiling Wolfette. The police did see him wearing gloves multiple times while cleaning his car, while at the grocery store, when they were surveilling him. Maybe they made him touch meat from cleaning his car. It's possible. Medical condition. Okay. Interesting. Thank you, Crazy Mama. They have some interviews have been removed. As what? I had some postpartum OCD really bad. I had preeclampsia, which it was actually HELP syndrome, which is a really dangerous variant of it. And it just scared me to death about like something happening to me or one of my kids. So anyways, after that, I was using a lot of bleach and doing a lot of hand washing, and I got chemical burns on my hands similar to this. However, mine kind of went a little further up the arm. So blood pressure, the original didn't look like that. I don't know. I heard people talking about his hands from the beginning. Oh yeah, I don't think this is like anything from the crime, but I don't know. Had they taken trash from the apartment dumpster, it would be an evidential nightmare. They got him on video putting trash in the neighbor's MPA. Correct. But you know what? I guarantee you when they went to his apartment with that search warrant, they got a ton of stuff. Hey, Cassie. Okay, so let's keep going. I do have some more stuff. Hey, Shabanae. Play the video of him going into court. We can do that. That's fun. But yeah, I do. But first, let's get through this. I mean, is it possible someone edited it? Yeah, it's the internet, you guys. That's the worst thing about the internet is it's so easy for people to make something look like something else, right? And a lot of trickery, a lot of foolery. It's just gross. Thank you, Laura. It was really tough. I had him 8 weeks early and I was put to sleep. I wasn't even awake during my C-section. I feel like I'm listening to True Crime voiced by Britney Spears. That is so funny and so strange because you know what? I had like some TikToks that kind of got pretty big from this case. And I swear to you, I had like 50 comments underneath. You sound just like Britney Spears. Oh my God. Like you sound just like Britney. It's so weird because I don't hear that at all. Check the Daily Mail. Okay, let's see. I'm actually on this article from the Daily Mail right now, so let's just go home and see what comes up on the homepage. Prince and Harry stuff. Wait, we're in the UK. We don't need them. Missing Mama 3, Anna Walsh promised a big surprise. I don't see anything besides what we were just looking at. Idaho judge seals search warrant for Bryan Kohberger's Washington apartment, which we've talked about this. It's not sealed forever. Oh my gosh, how did we get there? It's not sealed forever. Is this what you're talking about? It was put out today at 11 p.m. We already knew this. Let's see what it says. Authorities have temporarily sealed the search warrant for the University of Idaho Bryan Kohberger's Washington home, as they claim releasing it could prematurely end the investigation and create a threat to public safety. What I took from that, you guys, is that if the investigation ends prematurely, he gets out. And if this man is free, then all of our safety is at risk, right? So, ooh, Raynaud's, that's what it looks like to me. Okay, I'll look that up. Let's see. How do you get your font to look like that? It's so pretty. Well, on StreamYard, it looks like different font than the usual font. He does have a damn good attorney. Yes, he does. It's sealed until March 1st. Right. It's not sealed forever. We will get to see it. So let me see what else I have for us to talk about, because I have to go get the kids in about 30 minutes. Oh, Shay Benet sent me this. Is this about the same thing? This is Jennifer Coffindaffer's Twitter. Let's see what she says. Please see the attached voice message for further clarification. More to come. Oh, this is about his search warrant being okay. Just exactly what we were talking about. The matter in this investigative stage, and while criminal charges have been brought, those charges are not yet publicly known. Premature public disclosure of the details of this law enforcement investigation will create a serious and imminent threat to effective law enforcement and could result in premature end of this investigation, which creates a threat to the public. Let's see what she had to say about this. I've actually never clicked on one of these kind of links. It's a voice message. Huh. Okay. Download. Okay, I've got it, you guys. Just a second. We're going to have to do this just a little bit differently. We're going to do a full screen share. Oh, I got a new member. Welcome, Brandon. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Okay, ooh, this is going to be good. I want to hear what Jennifer Coffindaffer has to say about this, about the search warrant being sealed. That's interesting. Okay. So you have to do a full screen share and like this.
I decided to just, hey everyone, I decided to just make this easy and dictate a little explanation. So I'm going to start with why I believe there is something a bit amiss. First,
McKenna, sweetheart, we went through every single court document. Everything that's in the title is at the beginning. You're going to have to rewind. Bryan Kohberger, there's a new article that come out about him commenting on the case. He said it's really sad what happened to them, basically. And then also we went through the court records, but you have to rewind, or I can go back to that after we hear this. I can show those of you who came in late.
initially, when law enforcement developed probable cause to believe that Bryan Kohberger committed this crime, they also had the probable cause developed to begin formulating search warrant affidavits for his office, his apartment, his father's home,
No problem, McKenna.
his person, and his Elantra. Now, the probable cause affidavit would have had to be finished out for his father's home after he arrived and was further developed when he was under surveillance by law enforcement in Pennsylvania. Now, this is the piece that is interesting.
Okay, you guys. No, I'll definitely go back and show you guys the information. We'll just hear what what Jennifer has to say about this warrant being sealed, and then I'll go back to the article where they talk about what Bryan had to say during he made these comments while he was being extradited.
The meat of a probable cause affidavit concerning Bryan Kohberger, we got to see in the 19-page affidavit that supported the criminal complaint for his arrest. There's the meat. Beyond that, in a search warrant affidavit, you have to do attachments. You have to do an attachment describing what you are looking for. So basically, what law enforcement believes would be indicia of the crime, things like the knife, computers where he could have done Google searches, clothing, search for any and all DNA evidence, blah, blah, blah. All the evidence that one would expect would be possibly at his apartment or in his car or at his office that would prove to be evidentiary in committing the crimes. Now
When
then,
I take it off the screen to comment to you guys, can you still hear it?
they also have to show that he has connectivity with the places and that it's not just loose in terms of being a nexus, but that actually he utilized those places contemporaneous to the time before he committed to the crime and after he would have committed the crime. So it doesn't make sense that if they were willing to release the probable cause affidavit, the big meat on the bone, why they wouldn't also be willing to release the affidavits that support the search warrant. Now, there is boilerplate language that we use in law enforcement when we want something sealed based on it interrupting our case and it causing issues, evidentiary, with a case. And that also makes sense, sort of boilerplate that they might not want to release information concerning the connectivity to these locations. In addition, there are going to be witness statements and individuals they interviewed that it is crucially important that they keep their identities concealed. And even if they take their name out, because some of you might be asking, that's not enough. We call it singular information. When you receive information from someone, that it has to sort of be them because they're the ones that knew the information, singular to other people knowing. So it's not just enough that a name is redacted. So let me just say, for them to further state that if this information from the search warrant affidavits are revealed, that it could stop their case and thus cause a danger to the community, I'm paraphrasing here, that is significant to me because I would not have expected the probable cause in the search warrant affidavits to differ greatly from the probable cause in the complaint affidavit.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. I think that Crime Sleuthen had just sent me that, and we actually read through it. That was done on, like, the search warrant was sealed before the affidavit was even released. Let me look at we have to go back to the court records. We have something. What are y'all talking about in this chat, you guys? Please be nice to each other, please. I like Jennifer Coffindaffer too. Sleuth, me too. She was talking in circles there a little bit. I think she was just saying, I'm surprised that this is, they want this to be sealed, considering that, the probable cause affidavit has already been released, but Crime Sleuthin actually messaged me. She's made a video on some of that and said that it was sealed on the 30th, which I believe we went through every court record. There was many things done on the 30th, so that's easy to believe. So I don't know. It's possible that it was sealed before the affidavit was even released. I don't know. She confused me on that one as well. Okay, I'm going to take you guys to what's for those of you who missed in the beginning. I'm going to bring you back to this this new article that came out from the New York Post. And like I said, it is, just take it with a grain of salt. These are supposedly direct quotes from him during extradition. But I don't know. We weren't there. So, and it's the New York Post, and we've seen so many major news corporations get information wrong with this case. So the warrant was redacted and then sealed once the motion was approved. It's confusing. Thank you, Crime Sleuthin, for trying to I don't know what happened in the chat. I just, I think I just seen the end of it. So I absolutely have no clue. Okay, so let's get through this. Bryan Kohberger told cops, "It's really sad what happened." That's a quote. 2 slain Idaho students. The man accused of brutally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students reportedly told cops it was, quote, "really sad what happened to," unquote, the victims. Bryan made the comment to officers as he was being extradited from Pennsylvania to Idaho last week, according to a police source who spoke to People. Okay, hold up. We're going to try to click this and go straight directly to the source, which would be People. Okay. I have not seen this article yet. I actually just found it on the one I just showed you. So Bryan Kohberger has largely remained silent after he was charged with killing 4 U of I students, but he made small talk with officers while he was being extradited from his home in Pennsylvania and then booked in the Latah County Jail. He seemed really nervous, a police source who was involved in the process tells People. He was narrating to himself everything that was happening. At one point, he was saying something to himself like, "I'm fine, this is okay," like he was reassuring himself that this whole thing wasn't awful. Kohberger has read his Miranda rights during his arrest. He was read his Miranda rights during his arrest and cannot be questioned about the case without an attorney present. He didn't speak directly to officers about the case, but the police source says that he did make an offhand comment about it. He did say, quote, "It's really sad what happened to them," unquote, but he didn't say anything more, the source says. He's smarter than that. Kohberger was arrested December 30th, and that is that. So, whether you believe this police source or not, the police who extradited him, I don't believe they fall under this gag order. It's pretty specific, and I don't know. That's really interesting. I want to know what you guys think. One sec. Let me get that part back up. This is the main meat and tomatoes, potatoes, whatever the hell, of the article. He seemed really nervous. These 2 paragraphs about him narrating to himself, telling himself it's okay, reassuring himself, and then saying it's really sad what happened to them. Like, no shit, buddy. Please don't fight. It's hard on us children. Yeah, we love each other. We don't have to agree or disagree. Just be kind to each other. You can learn from someone who disagrees with you and thinks totally different. You could learn from anybody. You can learn from anybody, literally anybody. You may see somebody on the street who doesn't have their shit together at all, and they're like using drugs and have this crazy life. You could still learn from them. So just, remember that. Smarter than that, as far all I've seen is dumbass mistakes. I know. I believe Coffindaffer, re-singular, is something only crime scene would know, and the one who committed X. They were missing a small example. They were missing a small body part only. Oh, okay. So You know, that would be a reason they wouldn't want that out if there's something that has like that. But I don't know. Potato, tomato, whatever. Nobody gets kicked, William. No, my mods will not do that. We want everybody to be able to chat, whether doesn't matter what your opinion is. Absolutely not. You only get blocked if you if you're like name calling and things like that, or saying something just completely disgusting. I literally don't care what your opinion is. You are welcome to it here. Hey, Sherry. Do you have Brian's mom's post about him leaving for school? Wasn't the post in June? If he didn't move into his apartment until August, where was he living? I actually don't know the exact details of that. I know that class started the next day, the day that he was like August 21st, when he was there when he was near the home. But I'm not sure. There's rumors he was taking summer classes, but I need to double check that. Thank you, Crumb Sleuthin. I appreciate that so much. No, not you, MK. I didn't even see that. I don't know what's I don't know. Are all y'all fighting? Jesus. Yeah, my mods are the bomb.com Riddler. We love you. Okay. So let me show you guys. There actually was another article that was a veteran defense attorney who was like poking holes in. Let me show you guys. Idaho murders. Veteran defense attorney lays out case Bryan Kohberger team could make. Pokes holes in the affidavit. Oh, thank you, Glow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's really sweet. Okay. The affidavit references a shoe print of a Vans-type sneaker similar to one seen on body cam at the home 6 weeks before the murders. Bryan Kohberger's defense will seek to dismantle many parts of the probable cause affidavit police used to obtain his arrest, in the deaths of the 4 U of I students. Idaho police laid out their case in a 19-page sworn statement made public just minutes before his initial court appearance last week, with allegations including that they found his DNA at the scene, spotted his car and phone circling the victim's home, and uncovered a blood-tinged van-type shoe print in the suspected killer's path. In this case, what I've noticed is they've got evidence and they've tried to put together the pieces of the puzzle. The California-based Lara, this is the defense attorney, but each and every one of the pieces of the puzzle seem to have issues and weaknesses and places where a defense attorney can poke holes. This defense attorney, Uritsian, whose past clients include Scott Peterson and Michael Jackson, said reliance on cell site data could be a flaw if prosecutors do not have something more tangible linking the suspect to the crime scene. To me, that's never enough, because you could be 10 miles away, 15 miles away even, sometimes depending on the radius it covers, she said. However, I believe they have much more than just your typical cell phone tower. I think that they've went in the same way that they did with Alex Cox. That was 3 years ago. Technology is improving every single day. That's just my opinion, but I'm going to continue reading to you guys. So, as Fox News Digital has reported, Kohberger's apartment is just 10 miles away from the 6-bedroom rental house. He was studying for his PhD. Uritsian pointed to page 15 of the affidavit, which notes that Kohberger's phone pinged a cell tower in Moscow, but then says that police do not believe he actually entered the city on that date. So you're telling me in an affidavit that that's not reliable, she said. How could a judge rely on this information? Now, wait a minute here. Let me go back here. We're going to have to check this out just to double check. And I have to go in just a minute, you guys, to get my youngins. But let's hurry. Investigators found that the phone did connect to a cell tower that provides service to Moscow, but investigators do not believe The phone was in Moscow on that date. The phone has not connected to any towers that provide service to Moscow on that date. So this defense attorney is dead on. It literally does say that. The phone pinged on this day, but they don't think he was there on that date. But it pinged on these other days, and they do think he's there. That's interesting. See, I do believe that it's him. I think that the evidence is just so, there's a lot of it. However, I do enjoy hearing like from the other side. I always like to do that. I want to hear both sides. Oh, thank you, El Guapo. Thank you, mods. Y'all are Gucci. And also, how does someone gift subs? Thank you so much. Gift the memberships. I think it's down. You have to be a member to do it, which is so dumb. But it's where you purchase your own membership. If you're on an iPhone, I think you might have to. I'm not quite sure. When I did it on Teresa's, I had to do it on my computer. So, okay, back to this just quickly. So you're telling me in an affidavit that that's not reliable. Wow, that's a good point. However, she added, if prosecutors can prove Kohberger's phone registered on the victim's Wi-Fi router, that would place him much closer to the scene. Even so, she continued, due to the short distance between his home and theirs, proximity alone does not prove the allegations. What if he had a friend in the area he was going to visit, she asked. There may have been a very innocent reason for why he may have been in the area. I don't know. You don't know. For us, that's not enough. She says, as for the Vans type footprint, that is a common shoe. But that's the point is, yeah, okay. There's someone wearing Vans at the house. I have a pair of Vans, but that's not the point. This is not just a Vans shoe print. This is a Vans shoe print that was detected that only picks up cellular matter. So I don't like that. I think that that's making things seem it's not true, and it's making things seem a certain way. Because let me show you. When we go to where the Vans shoe, I'm telling you, I could probably read this again and find something else or look at something in a different way than what, I did initially. Okay. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. It was located during the second processing by first using a presumptive blood test and then aminoblack, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. This is not just a shoe print. This is a shoe print with some sort of cellular material, in it. And to me, that's so different than just, a random shoe print. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to have to let you go because I have to go get my kids. As new things come out, I'll be collecting them. I post them on the community page. I'll be going live. I want to try to work in a few other cases, some things that I'm looking at. Trial. There are going to be a lot of trials this year. I've been talking to a couple of my friends about that. Within the next 2 or 3 months, we're going to have Letitia Stalk and Lori Vallow. So there's just so much work to be done. So you guys are definitely going to see so much more, come from the channel. And I just want to say I really appreciate. Oh, Shay Benet gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Shay. Thank you so much. It's really sweet. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back soon as we have something else interesting to talk about. Melissa Jade, I do too. He landed on a gold mine with this defense attorney. It's scary, it really is. But I don't know what was happening in the chat. I missed most of it. I hope that, I don't like that because I love you guys. I don't want you being mean to each other, over opinions on a case. That's just so silly. There's people that do. There's really awful people in this world, and there's so much worse to be mad about. So I don't know. Just try to be kind to each other. And I love you all. And Tristan Bailey, that's one coming up. Yep. There's a couple more too. Thank you, Shay Benet. I love that too. I try to bring stuff that's not all over that I haven't seen a million times because I don't know. I just, that's boring. But okay. I love you guys. Have a great day. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye. Bye. And thank you, mods. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody.